Imagine coming home after a grueling day, only to find your nosy HOA president pounding on your door, demanding to inspect your private pool like she's the queen of suburbia. What starts as a petty power play spirals into a hilarious nightmare of absurd rules and exposed hypocrisy, leaving one tyrant dethroned and the neighborhood cheering. Alex Thompson had always pictured suburbia as the ultimate escape, a slice of the American dream wrapped in manicured lawns and white picket fences. But in the gated community of Willow Creek Estates, just outside Atlanta, that dream felt more like a straitjacket. The air was thick with unspoken rules, where every mailbox tilt or overgrown hedge could summon a passive-aggressive note from the homeowners association. Alex, a quiet software engineer in his mid-40s, had bought his modest two-story home 5 years ago after scraping together every penny from freelance gigs and overtime. It wasn't flashy, but it was his. The backyard pool? That was the crown jewel, a DIY project he'd built over weekends, sweating under the Georgia sun, to create an oasis for his wife and 2 kids. Little did he know, the real storm was brewing not from the skies, but from the clipboard-wielding enforcer next door. Karen Whitaker, the HOA president, ruled Willow Creek like a benevolent dictator, or so she liked to pretend. With her perfectly coiffed bob and a wardrobe of pastel cardigans, she exuded that fake southern charm that masked the iron grip on community standards. "We're all in this together," she'd coo at monthly meetings, her voice dripping with honeyed hypocrisy while she fined folks for bird feeders that clashed with the aesthetic. Karen had clawed her way to the top of the HOA board 3 years back, turning what was supposed to be a volunteer group into her personal fiefdom. She thrived on the power, doling out violations like candy at Halloween, all under the guise of protecting property values. But whispers in the cul-de-sacs painted a different picture. Karen feared any challenge to her throne, especially from newcomers like Alex who didn't bow immediately. At first, the troubles were small, almost laughable in their pettiness. One crisp autumn morning, Alex found a pink slip taped to his front door: violation notice, grass exceeds 2.5 inches in height. Fine, $50. Immediate compliance required for neighborhood harmony. He stared at it, chuckling bitterly. "Harmony? My lawn's practically a putting green," he muttered to his wife, Lisa, over breakfast. But he mowed it anyway, figuring it was easier to comply than fight. A week later, another note arrived, mailbox leaning 1 degree off vertical. Potential hazard to postal workers. Fine, $75. Alex straightened it with a wrench, shaking his head. "These people must measure everything with a laser level," he grumbled. Karen, spotting him from her porch across the street, waved cheerfully. "Just keeping things tidy." "Alex, we appreciate your cooperation." Her smile was all teeth, but her eyes gleamed with that smug satisfaction of someone who loved watching others jump. The absurdity ramped up when Alex added solar lights along his driveway, subtle, energy-efficient ones to guide the kids home at dusk. Bam! Another violation: exterior lighting disrupts nocturnal wildlife and neighborhood ambience. Remove within 48 hours or face escalating fines. Alex ripped the notice off his door, his jaw tightening. Nocturnal wildlife? We're in the suburbs, not the damn wilderness, he vented to Lisa that night. But he swapped them out for dimmer bulbs, biting his tongue. Deep down, though, he started noticing patterns. Neighbors who'd crossed Karen before whispered about her favorites. Those who kissed up got leniency, while outsiders like him got the full brunt. Alex kept quiet, observing. He wasn't the type to explode, he was the guy who coded solutions in silence, biding his time. Then came the pool drama, the spark that ignited the powder keg. It was a scorching July afternoon when Karen marched up to Alex's gate, her heels clicking like warning shots. "Alex. Darling," she called out, her voice laced with that faux politeness that made your skin crawl. "I've received anonymous concerns about your pool. It might not meet setback requirements from the property line. I need to inspect it right now to ensure safety." Alex, lounging by the water with his kids splashing around, froze. "Anonymous concerns? From who?" he asked, keeping his tone even as he dried off. Karen adjusted her sunglasses, lips pursing. "That's confidential. But as president, it's my duty to uphold standards. Open the gate. Please." The kids went silent, sensing the tension. Alex crossed his arms. "Karen, this is my backyard. You can't just demand entry without notice or cause." Her face flushed, but she plastered on that smile. "Oh, honey. It's for the greater good. Property values could plummet if one rogue pool sets a precedent. Think of the children." Alex felt a surge of dark amusement at her hypocrisy, using kids as a shield while scaring his own. "I'll review the bylaws myself," he said calmly, shutting the gate. Karen huffed. "You'll regret this obstructionism," as she stormed off. Alex whispered to himself. "Obstructionism? Lady, you're the one obstructing my peace." The whispers started soon after. At the neighborhood barbecue, mandatory attendance per HOA decree, Alex overheard snippets. "Did you hear Alex's pool is a safety hazard? Karen says it could attract mosquitoes or worse." Another neighbor chimed in. "Yeah. And he's being so uncooperative. Probably hiding something." Alex sipped his lemonade, ears burning. But he smiled politely. Inside, he seeded. Karen was poisoning the well, turning idle gossip into a smear campaign. Lisa urged him to fight back, but Alex shook his head. "Not yet. Let her dig her own grave." He started documenting everything, photos of the notices, timestamps on emails, even a discreet camera on his porch to catch her drive-bys. Karen's next move? A certified letter demanding immediate pool drainage for inspection or face $500 daily fines. "This is insane," Alex told Lisa, laughing incredulously. "Drain the pool in peak summer? For what? To check if the water's too blue?" Tensions boiled over when Karen escalated to surveillance overkill. One evening, Alex noticed new cameras popping up on street lamps, pointed suspiciously toward his backyard. "Neighborhood Security Initiative," the HOA newsletter boasted. Signed by Karen. But Alex's own footage showed workers angling one directly at his pool deck. "This isn't security, it's spying," he fumed, researching state privacy laws late into the night. He confronted her at the next HOA meeting, held in the stuffy community center under fluorescent lights that buzzed like angry bees. "Karen, those cameras are invading my privacy," Alex said during open forum, his voice steady as neighbors shifted uncomfortably. She leaned into the mic. "All saccharine concern. Alex. Dear. It's for everyone's protection. We've had reports of suspicious activity, vagrants. You know. If you've nothing to hide, why complain?" The room murmured agreement from her cronies. But Alex caught a few eye rolls from others. "Suspicious activity? Like kids swimming? Or is it just me you're watching?" Karen's cheeks twitched. "Don't be paranoid. This is about community, not individuals." Alex sat down, but not before noting her slip, her eyes darting away, betraying the lie. The harassment intensified. Fines rolled in like clockwork, $200 for pool noise pollution, kids laughing too loud. $150 for unesthetic pool toys. Karen even emailed the board, CCing Alex accidentally, this resident's defiance threatens our harmonious standards. Suggest escalation. Alex printed it, adding to his growing dossier. Neighbors started avoiding him, except for Tom, the guy next door, who confided over the fence one night, she's got dirt on half the board. That's why they back her. Alex nodded. Thanks for the heads up. But Tom, under pressure, flipped later, spreading more rumors. Alex endured the isolation, his quiet observation turning into a calculated plan. He hired a lawyer discreetly, gathering affidavits from disgruntled ex-members about Karen's past abuses, forged meeting minutes, pocketed fine money for administrative costs. The irony was delicious, Karen preaching ethics while cooking the books. One sweltering Saturday, Karen showed up unannounced again, banging on the gate with a measuring tape. Open up. I have authority to enter for violations, she shrieked, her composure cracking. Alex, recording from inside, cracked the door. Authority? Show me the warrant. Her face contorted in rage, veins bulging. You think you're clever? I'll lean your house. Alex smirked faintly. Try it. I've got my own evidence. She faltered. What evidence? But he shut the door, heart pounding with grim satisfaction. That night, he leaked anonymized clips to a local Facebook group, Karen's tirades, camera installations, shady emails. Comments exploded. Is this for real? She's out of control. Karen fired back in all caps, fake news. Defending our values. But the tide turned, neighbors shared their own stories. From fine holiday lights to bullied yard sales. The climax hit at the emergency HOA meeting Alex petitioned for, packing the hall with fed-up residents. Karen presided, gavel in hand, her voice quivering with forced authority. This is a witch hunt. Alex is the disruptor here. But Alex stood, projector ready, unleashing his arsenal, videos of her invasive inspections, emails proving fund misuse, $2,000 disappeared for her office supplies, testimonials from 10 neighbors. This isn't leadership, it's tyranny, Alex said, his tone laced with biting sarcasm. Karen's standards are just excuses to play God. The room gasped as footage played, Karen berating an elderly couple over flower colors, pocketing cash fines. Her face drained of color, stammering. This is edited. I was protecting us. But Tom, redeemed, stood, no. Karen, we protected you too long. Chaos ensued, shouts of resign. Karen banged the gavel futilely, tears of fury streaming. You'll all regret this. Property values will tank without me. The vote was swift, unanimous ouster. As she stormed out, Alex couldn't help a wry smile, the queen dethroned. Her mask shattered. In the aftermath, the fallout was swift and satisfying. The state attorney general investigated, slapping Karen with fines for privacy violations and embezzlement. Turns out she'd funneled HOA dues into her personal consulting gigs. She sold her house quietly, slinking away to whispers of good riddance. The new board, elected transparently, scrapped absurd rules, no more lawn length mandates. Cameras repositioned to common areas only. Willow Creek breathed again, picnics without paranoia, pools without patrols. Alex's family splashed freely. Neighbors waved genuinely. He reflected on the ordeal over coffee with Lisa. It was hell. But damn if it didn't feel good watching her unravel. The community bonded. Sharing war stories with dark humor. Remember when Karen fined the Smiths for excessive smiling? Laughter echoed, healing the rifts. But here's the twist that lingers: was Karen the real villain? Or just a product of a system that lets petty tyrants flourish? Drop your thoughts, right or wrong, in the comments. Who knows? Maybe you're living next to the next HOA horror show.